Everybody, it's the Quantum Show. It's the late Quantum Show. Sorry, it's Mother's Day, and I had to go spend time and, Mother's Day. Let me adjust this a little bit. Okay. So, yeah, I had to go spend time for Mother's Day. What do you do? And I did go, well, apparently beyond the last minute. And I don't have a show planned. I don't. I just we had the aurora borealis show up in the my local area. My sister saw it. I did not see a thing. And welcome to the show, everyone. I see people coming in. Awesome. 5 by 5. I'm thinking sound check. That's good. And Joe is here. Lynn is here. Thanks for coming back to the Quantum Show in my very unprepared state. I don't see. Look, here's what here's the Quantum Show. I'm joking. Hey, Diane, welcome back. And I was thinking about all this stuff, but then I don't know much about the aurora borealis other than it is a magnetic anomaly that is very interesting. So I was thinking, then I got to listening to Rich Giordano's show. He had Anjali on his show, a one-to-one interview, dueling interviews. And I listened to her talk about being a contactee. And I'm like, well, that's kind of up my alley too, because I am as well. And it's not like they called me, I called them, which was crazy. And it's still cool. I mean, not crazy. Hey, Rachel Andrews, Renee Andrews. All right. Right. And yeah, Lynn saying we got to take care of our. Shout out Renee Andrews for buying me a coffee. Thank you so much. You are the bomb. Thank you so much. Yeah, we do need to take care of our moms. I bought her a tablet. And it's I had bought her an Amazon Fire a long time ago, like 2 years ago, and it is just the battery don't last long. You got to hack it, put on apps. So I went and got a generic Android tablet. It's double the size of the Fire. The Fire is like a big phone, like not even a big phone. This is the tablet, and it works really good. So that and a book on dreams and a HEPA air filter is on the way. Also, it's just not there yet. Right. Majestic C, you're correct. Showed Did we have a glitch right there? Glitch in the matrix? Schrodinger's quantum show. The topic's potential is infinite until observed, and all the possibilities collapse. Right. And right. Yeah, I never know. I thought I was gonna be talking about the Aurora Borealis. And then here I am not. I was That's why I didn't even plan the show. I didn't have time to plan. It was gone. So I was listening to Rich Anjali on. Anjali is good people. Okay. I don't know who she was listening to do some of the things she did a while back, but it didn't seem like she was calling the shots. You know what I mean? Like she was being advised. And I hey, you got to do what you got to do. And I think she accepted some bad advice by calling a press conference and doing a few things. But that was then. And here we are, right? I think she decided to cut loose whoever that person was. So she's talking about, I entitled the show Density, Communication. What did I entitle it? What did I entitle it? I don't even remember right now. And I'm going to go look at the stream right now, though it might might bump me off a little bit. That's okay. We'll be back. Density, communicating ability. Okay. Density, she brought up density. And I think she was relating it to light. I understand that, but hey, Raven, I understand that it relates to light. Like we are in a super dense way of being, right? And the less dense you get, let's just say a likeness, a one to one going out to space. We have an atmosphere gathered around the planet. It's dense. You go up, it gets less dense, less, until it's so super thin, it may as well be non existent. Talk the moon. The moon, the atmosphere, it is there, is so thin, you can't do anything with it like exist. Hey, Aussie, welcome back, Aussie Tiger. And that is a good way to liken it to what she was talking about. And it's really difficult to understand. She didn't even understand it. She said it was likened to, well, not likened to anything, but it was their beings of light. Well, technically, so are we. When you look at us on an energetic level, then we are neutrons, protons, etc. We're matter, and matter is made up of energy, and energy is stems from light. So we're in a super dense reality, and where they come from, they're not. But we have the ability to go through and access that less dense, higher light frequency, maybe a la 0 point energy. Me and Keith agree that we can use it. We can make things happen. We by putting our minds to it. What do we talk about here? Crystal network. Okay. We talk about sending vibes. We talk about all this stuff. Here we go. I still got I wear my crystal every day. And yeah, so let me write this down so I don't forget it. Forget what I'm actually doing on my show. Density communicating ability. Now, what she was saying was everyone has the ability to communicate. It's just there's an awakening going on, and not everyone is awake yet. So those other people, I call them muggles, the people who are not awake, who don't see shadows, talk to spirits, get messages, talk to ghosts, family, other people. I see them. So maybe I know I'm perceiving something of a higher density. And I don't know if I really don't think they're allowed to talk to us because we're in this kind of guarded state, and we're to be awakened at our own rate. And yeah, I really do think that the powers that be here on Earth, elites and people with money, and those guys, they're really holding us down. I really do think that. And yeah, sorry about that, Joe. Thank you, Raven. I'm just glancing at the chat room. And yeah, I talk like Kirk sometimes. Thank you, Joe. There are commas between the words. Okay, Joe. Yes, there are commas between the words. Sometimes. That was a period. Snuck it in there on you. But yeah, okay. So apparently, ability is not everyone has the ability to do it, but we're just not conscious to it. We're not aware of it. And when we are aware of it, things like the Quantum Show happen. Things like Spaced Out Radio, Archie Andrews Show, Raven's Rabbit Hole. Those are things that we want to get it out there. We all have this drive to get it out there. We all have. I do. I have the drive. I want to get it out there, but I just don't think it'll be important to too many people. I don't know. Maybe it is, and it's important to me for sure. But yet, when we realize that we have these abilities, we start doing things like learning paganism, learning about deep science, learning about quantum mechanics, how light works, how metal works, how cars work, right? We do all that stuff and we push ourselves. I've still got one experiment going on, right? And I've still got another experiment needs to be done, need time. And this is part of yet another experiment. And this is copper wire that I bought. Yeah, I bought copper wire. So, well, the copper goes in all of them, and I'm going to be buying a lot more. You know, they say copper is expensive you get money for copper. No, you don't, because you pay for it, and it's really not that. I think that was $6, but it is not a lot of copper, but it can get a lot of stuff done. Mm. So Joe is remarking in the chat that is that is actually a density communication, but that differs from density communication and abilities. Okay, yeah, it's if it was easy, we'd all do it. If it was easy to understand, there would be no questions, and we'd be using it every day. So the density is just the word itself. Okay, communicating. I can't just pick up a phone and say, hello, I would like to talk to the Mantis people. It doesn't work like that, right? I can't just do that. Or excuse me, the real prop phone, which is I should have brought this out. Hello, I can't hear you. Could you please pick up the phone? Yeah, I own one of these. It's the one from Timu, not the original. But that is it's a great prop. I love it. You have to be in a certain mindset. And okay, when it happened to me, when I called out and got communication going, I wasn't really prepared for what communication was going to take place. I'll go over it right now because that's in the title, communicating, right? It was more than just like you hear me speaking, you see motions, you see expressions. Okay. It was more than that. There was, I could compare it to a video chat, okay, a little bit, but only so you understand there's a lot more than just voice, video. There were feelings and concepts of words, no words. The voice was unintelligible if it was a voice at all. I know there was sound that I understand, but it made no sense. It was probably a language. And then there were concepts of words, and it's the overall tone was not, what was it? The overall tone was polite and concise, more concise than I had the ability to perceive, because there were so much stuff going on. There was a lot of data to sift through, and I wasn't ready to interpret that. Okay, imagine somebody walking up to you speaking Chinese or Japanese in kabuki outfit. There's a whole lot of communication going on right there, but I don't understand it. Okay, I don't understand it because the attire is one communication that sets kind of like a context of who you're talking to and the tone, and then the words don't understand them either. It was a little bit like that, except there were also emotions, and I could tell we were being observed by some kind of like operator or guardian of the airways, whatever. And I was in a kind of meditation. I was in a meditation only because I couldn't sleep because I ate something wrong, and I decided, well, I'm going to take this opportunity to meditate. I had just gotten my new copy of Keith's book, just saw the picture of him that he's going to be putting in the other book, and I said, I want to call these guys. So I did. And it's as if I rang up a random number in the telephone and it was a hallway phone in some big building somewhere, and somebody picked up. He says, "Oh, well," I introduced myself. Literally, I said, "Hi, my name is Nathan. I'm on planet Earth. I'm a human." And he goes, this was all in concepts, okay? I was doing my best to communicate via concept and visualization. I got some practice, right, of visualizing. So I was able to communicate, apparently, because he didn't hang up on me immediately. And I was able to communicate that to him. And he did say, well, didn't say, but communicated hello, like like the concept of you initiated communication with me. I have responded. Now you need to tell me what to talk to you about. Kind of like a networking protocol. And that's what I likened it to. So that makes it easier for me to understand. And he in concepts, not words, said to me, "Hi, hello, thank you for calling, but why did you call?" Really? And I kind of lost track because when we try and we try and we try, and then when it finally happens, we don't know what to do. It's like a dog chasing a car. Once he catches it, what do you do after that? What are you going to do now that you've got it? And I was saying, I have so many questions. He communicated to me, I am not supposed to be talking to you. It's restricted and I don't want to get in trouble. And I jokingly, and he got that concept too, that, oh, no one's going to believe me anyway. You can talk to me. And I communicated the idea of the show here. And I communicated me living here among all the people. And you know what? He laughed. She laughed. Laughter is literally universal. Laughter is universal because I understood it was laughter. Yeah, yeah, Monty, it was aliens. And also, they were talking about consciousness. Anjali was talking about consciousness on Rich's show. Now, these are deep topics for Rich. Okay. He goes with ufology, the coverage of it. I go with ufology. I cover some of it too. But him, and other certain people, Amy's one, they dig deep into the disclosure and the people headliners, Jason Sands, Grush, Elizondo, whatever, and they're, well, I'll say it, they're all being led, they're being told what to say because they're still on the payroll. And you can take what they say, 10% of it is good. The rest of it is show pony because they got to have something to tell you. Literally, it's like that. They need to fill in the blanks, make something up that sounds about right, and get these. And then they're talking about demons. Aliens are demons. Give me a break. They're not demons. Demons, in this regard, are like things that you don't understand, that you are to fear. Keep people away from it. You tell the masses they're demons. By the way, aliens are not demons. They're not demons. Of course, there are demons out there, but this ain't them. Okay? They're not. Demons don't fly flying saucers. Hey, Dorothy, welcome back. Yeah, that was Raven. Heard the interview too. And I was there for the first 15 minutes. I still haven't finished it, right? So I want to go back. So that was on my mind as I was listening to it, the replay, as I was driving on the way to here. So that's on my mind. And did anybody catch what Anjali's first car was? Because I missed that part. I hit a bump or something. So what was Anjali's first car? It was in the interview Rich asked her, "What was your first car?" And I totally missed it on both the original and the replay. What was the first car? Tell me in the chat, what was the first car? Because I can't remember. For silver Ford Escort. Okay, thank you. I saw you there too. I couldn't chat at the time. I did see silver Ford Escort. Okay, so and I'm going to go with it was an 80s model because my first car would have been an Escort. It could have been an Escort. Silver Ford Escort. I will. You know what? Since I've been kind of being the car guy lately, I might do the silver Ford Escort thing. Not buy one, but like make a meme or something. Like the Anjali mobile. And I'm gonna go with an 80s model because I like the 80s cars. She's an eight. We're both 80s models. Me and Anjali, we're both 80s models. I'm a 70s model. She's a 70s model. So, but they were talking about it, and they were talking about contacting. She's a contactee. She is in communication, apparently constant communication. The fact that she was in the government, I don't think that has anything to do with it. I think that it has to do with genetic codes and vibration levels. Really, I'm not in constant contact. I have to really concentrate, and it's hard to do. I She seems to have a pre-prepared mode of communication with them. I do not. I do not have a pre-prepared. They're ready to talk to her. She's ready to talk to them. I don't have that. I call them, and they may or may not pick up. Right? I call them, and this doesn't really talk to aliens. This doesn't talk to anybody right now. Though I don't know. It could become upgraded at some point. So yeah, she was in communication during the interview. I thought that was very interesting. A year ago or more, Rich said that when she first did that, he thought she was she was scamming. I don't think she's scamming. Okay. I really don't. I would love to talk to her one on one, even if it isn't online. I would just like to talk to her. I'd like to just go have coffee. She drinks coffee. That was part of the original stuff. I drink coffee too. There we go, right there. We both work for the government at one point. Lots of commonality right there. I could totally jam with Anjali, and we could trade notes because she worked with the Men in Black. I saw the Men in Black twice. Um, but she was talking about density, and she's in contact now, always, apparently, whenever she wants. So is, I believe, Keith. I believe, Keith, you do that too, right? I don't know. Right. I liked that. The avatar concept. Rich put that name there, that word to it. Right. 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 Different words, same concepts. I don't see a problem either. And I believe that these church people are taking the term of a demon, of demons, the terms, the terminology, and applying it to stuff that they have no control over, that they want people to be scared of. I really do. Not demons. Yep, we work together for them. Hey, Tim, welcome back. We both work for them at the same time. And yeah, that's what the communication she was explaining it like a packet, a pack of communication all at once. It was like that. It was like that when I did it. It was like that, but it was little packets, but with a lot of data in them. But it was mini, and it wasn't a message to be deciphered. It was, yeah. Today's the show. Since I started late, I'm going to end a little bit early to stay kind of on schedule. But the protocol, it seems like, is add feeling, add lighting, add visuals, and the concepts of words. And literally, it is all done exactly. I mean, I was listening to her, and I was like, I did that. I did that, but I didn't have the translator device. I didn't have the communications hardware to do that. I need to change it to Anjali too. And I changed the title. But yeah, and not everyone people's heads would explode if they had constant communication. I think Anjali is tuned in to where she can do those packets. They're speaking to where she can understand it. When I had my encounter, he wasn't speaking how I can understand. He was speaking how he can understand it. And the visuals were jumbled up. It did not look like the picture. Okay. Let me see if I can find that picture. Because that was a long time ago. And Keith sent me the pictures that are going, a couple of the pictures that are going there, and I do have permission to show them. What is it called? Is it R? Did I put it under R Keith Andrews? Or did I put it under? Nope. Well, if Keith is able to come to the show panel, I may ask him what the, wait a minute, I may have it. No. I do have one, but I didn't talk to these guys. Though it seems like this was the guy who was like, I'm going to show this picture. I have permission to show these. He's given me permission in the past. Should be up. Zeta Reticulum. This was the operator. And it, you know what? It looked more like one of the background pictures than it did the main one. What I was seeing was an avatar, and it looked more like the background picture, but it was just shoulders up. It looked more like the background picture than it did the featured picture. And yeah, this is one. That's it. That's really it. That's it. That's what I was seeing on the operator, not the person talking to me, but the facilitator, I guess, or the guy who was monitoring the monitor. Also, yeah, Dorothy, that's what it looked like. But he was not the one I was talking to. I was talking to, where is that? He gave me the picture. He emailed me the picture. If I try to open my email, you know what? Let me do this. I can probably get it. I believe he emailed it to me. Well, I'm going to find out. We both will. I'm going to look in my emails. Sorry about that. Sorry about all this. Okay. I get quite a few. A lot of this is buy me a copy, but not, it was an old one. Okay. I know it was before that. He sent me a picture of I'm looking for the picture. If anybody has it on file, let me know until I'm looking at it. Wow. I've got quite a few emails in here. Okay. I can't find it because it would be as an attachment. Yes, I found it. Good. I found it. Hold on. I'm almost there. I'm gonna hold it up to this way. You can see that guy. He didn't like that. What? He did not look like that. The click clock. He did not like that. I did get the explanation. I've been so busy I have not had a chance to read it. Haven't had a chance to read anything, but I did get that. Oh, okay. But this is the guy I was talking to like this. It was, yeah, there you go. It was as if I was looking at, imagine security monitors. Okay. Now imagine all the images were were on top of each other, but they were all slightly off. And there was like 100 of them. And each one was a different color. And they were all off. They weren't lined up from front to back perfectly to where you see a complete image, but you see like this, but it's like this 100 times. And each was a different picture, different color, excuse me. So, but the image did make it through. That was his format. I could tell he had multifaceted eyes by looking at this incorrect picture. But I could tell that's what he was seeing, like the raw data. My logical deduction would be he was sending me the image that he sees, because this was mental, how he sees it, but he can interpret it. He knows how to see through the noise, whereas I do not, because I'm not geared for that. I could learn it, but I'm not geared for that. And well, let me look here. Okay. I'm not really following the chat. So there was also emotion, and laughter is literally, truly, laughter is universal. It doesn't matter where you go, laughter is laughter, because we laughed at, nobody's going to believe me anyway. And I laughed and he laughed and we all laughed and then we had a good time. And was that my ability to be able to tune in and forget about the ego for a few minutes? Because it only lasted a few minutes. He did start to talk to me, communicate with me, but it didn't make it through. It was gibberish. It was too much. And I told him, hey, I was like, wait, stop. I don't understand. We're going to have to do this again later, but I don't understand you. Everything you're telling me, I don't understand. I don't think I'm able to understand you, is what I said. Now, this was in the moment. Thinking on your feet in the mental experience, psychic experience, that's hard to do. Maybe I didn't say the right things, but we hung up with each other basically. Okay, well, good. Nice talking to you. And Keith actually helped me establish that, in so much that I was presupposing what kind of person I was talking to. So, well, that's all I've got to work with. Okay. All I've got to work with is presupposition, because I ain't never met one. And who am I trying to talk to? Well, I said the alien grays, right? Don't try to talk to them. I tried to talk to them and the call basically never went through, right? Maybe they came to me one time. I'm not sure. I need to do a regression. Raven, you know what I'm talking about. And I told Raven about it, but I'm not going to talk about it here because, well, I don't want to talk about something I don't have more information for, that at least it's way too nebulous for me to say. I'm not going to say what I think happened until I know what happened, or until I have more information or confirmation or denial from those guys. There were some kind of grays involved, but that was years ago. That was next time. This was last year, a year and a half ago, when I talked to the Mantis people, the Click Clock. And our Keith was telling me I'm presupposing who I'm talking to. Leave it kind of open-ended is how I understood his description. So I did that. And I was like, well, you're the only person I know who has any kind of idea about these guys. So I will go with your descriptions and kind of leave it open but I want to talk to this group, and it worked. They picked up. He picked up. It was cool. It was one of the coolest experiences I've ever had. I recommend everyone try to do it. I can see how sensory deprivation will help, but it's not necessary. Obviously, I did it, and I didn't have no sensory deprivation. I just had something that was keeping me awake. And in that between sleep and awake state, that's where I was. Okay, we're at 35 minutes. Like and subscribe. If you are here, you are quantum. Let me see. I have supposed to have banners for this kind of stuff. See? Yeah. Like and subscribe. If you're here, you're quantum. Because you would have gotten here, and also show for reality purposes. If you were entertained, that's an excellent byproduct. But you wouldn't have gotten here if you're not supposed to be here. And I almost didn't get here, but I was like, I'm supposed to be here. And here we are. So I like going through these banners sometimes. They're fun. And so maybe we all do have the ability. We just have to turn off the consciousness stuff. I was laying in bed between asleep and awake. That must be the sweet spot to be able to reach out. And this came after, not well after, but shortly after I said, you know what? I don't care. I can handle it. Bring it on. And oh boy, that was one of many incidents that was brought on. After that, I saw those two, and all the experiences started really, really going on. After that, I started noticing things. Empathy started really kicking in overdrive, and I started learning how to use a crystal network. Blew up 2 computers. Me and Raven both did. We were both actively meditating on these crystals. 2 computers died. 2. I had a tablet and my desktop. That's how I ended up getting a new one. Her stuff blew up too. Laptop messed up. They both got recovered. Well, I don't think that tablet got recovered, but we both blew up 2 computers because we were basically turning them up max, and we didn't know what we were doing. Let me see here. Aussie's saying, smash that like button, please. Yeah, sure. Smash that like button. I like it. You like it. We all like it. Right, exactly. I didn't know who I was pinging. So the ping just kind of got lost, like lost packet. Which grays? No grays. Well, all grays. And well, they don't all work for the same people. And they don't all have the same things in mind. Yeah, now I keep mine about the crystal network blowing up computers. Now, when I start to activate a crystal, I give it very strict instructions and basically keep it dialed down to 1. Because I don't want anything to keep blowing up. Power supplies, monitors, mice. My keyboard didn't work when I came in. I don't know what. I think that was just a glitch, a real hardware glitch. But yeah. Right. It was to the right person at the right time. And I wasn't doing something correctly. Yeah, I wasn't doing something correctly. So the message did not get through. However, once I figured out more how to narrow it down to a certain thing, meaning the click lock, then it started to work. I made contact. Now I seem to be wanting to make contact for the sake of making contact instead of actually transmitting any information. Before, it was interesting to do, it's fun, and I wanted to try it like I didn't have anything else to do. Because for a long time, I mean years, I've been trying to call out, call out, call out, but message wasn't getting through. As a networker, The message didn't seem to get through because it wasn't formatted right. It didn't have a destination. And that is key when you're networking. You have to have a destination. Then you can establish the networking protocols, the rules between two computers. Talk here, talk here, talk. Three-way handshake, anyone? Tim, I have not seen the new Doctor Who yet. I have to get it online, and I haven't had a chance to watch very much online until I'm going almost ready to go to sleep. I will be. I will be. I do like the people in it. I see it. And yeah, so our density, I keep wanting to go back to that one because I don't think I'm covering it very well. We, if we, all these guys are energy, as are we. We're just compacted. You know, the energy in our bodies is bound together by the environment that we're in. And as we know, observation skews the outcome of things that are happening. Try it with freezing ice. 2 ice trays. Everybody can do this one. 1 bad words, 1 love and good words. This one, fuck you, bad words. This one, sorry, that's my cuss word for the hour. And the other one, all the good words. And see how they freeze differently. See how they can freeze differently because there are vibes attached. I've done this several times. You can do it. Anybody can do it. And it takes, what, 3 hours to freeze ice in a decent freezer? And those are vibes that we're putting off. The words themselves are kind of inert until we observe them and give them vibes. We see a word like love, and we associate certain emotions. Those emotions are vibes. We are literally communicating out those vibes to that word. Then it becomes non-inert, it becomes active. We see a bad word, we see hate. We associate vibes to that word. It is no longer inert. Now it has a meaning. Now it has a vibe to it. And that's, I think, what they're worried about, us operating in the quantum fields, quantum link, 0 point, quantum link here. Why we can affect that, and they are the recipient of that vibe because we're thicker density going up. It seems like thicker density going into lower density, or not as dense density. I don't want to say lower, but I do want to say less dense, you know? Hey, Zach, welcome back. Thanks for coming by. And Pinky Leader, too. All we need is OB2 to show up, and it will be a whole squadron. So, yeah, and they're the ones that they are affected by the vibes that we put to things and that we produce, control, observe, and we think it's going to be a certain way, so it kind of leans toward that way. Schrodinger's cat. The cat's in a box with something that can kill it. Is it alive or dead? You don't know yet. That's superposition. However, I've been kind of clued in that that's not exactly how that works, but it's the best we can do right now because we're not ready for that kind of awakening, but some of us are. I feel like I am. I know you guys are. If an alien was to come up to you in a store that you go to, would you freak out? I challenge you all to get to the point where you would not freak out. Anybody listening, I know Tim, you would not freak out. Joe, I don't think you would freak out after your story last week, which is still a mind blower. And I want to talk to you about that. Oh, okay. Rachel Andrews is OB2. Alrighty then. Well, you changed your username? Why? It was so much fun. That was a lot of fun. But that's okay. That's okay. You're still OB2, but I'm going to remember that. Rachel Andrews is OB2. So, Squadron's all here. OB2. Boom. OB2. Going on a t shirt. So, and right now, I've never, well, I can't say that, can I? I almost said I have never encountered one in real life, but I have like 4 of them, different times too. Okay, here's the way I figure it, right? Now, this is before everything. I played D&D. Me and Tim, we had games. We were in the same, he ran the game, and it was a great game. So Dorothy's saying, I won't freak out if I hear them. Seeing them, not sure. Probably some at first reflex action of the biotech body. Oh, biotech body. Thanks, Anjali. Yeah, they called it a biotech body. And right, we are hardwired for fear. They that is a survival thing because we grew up here on Earth. Anjali was talking about the body is not biological, but they call it biotech, as if it was engineered. I believe it was engineered. But you look at cell structure and how everything works in perfect synchronicity and tandem and works perfect. Yeah, it's like that. Yes, nonviolence, because if you listen to the Riley Martin, as crazy as he ended up being before he passed away, he was taken to an amphitheater. He was in the middle and he was put to fight this other being. Okay. Now, it was supposed to be a he was going to lose because probably they could have fixed him, or he wasn't so important, or he was like a monkey in a cage, whatever, right? So, what ended up happening was he figured out how he was getting beat up, but it was like a smack, a punch, nothing crucial, but it was getting more and more. And he didn't understand how this was happening. And then he figured it out how it was happening. It was imagination, visualization, and it was becoming real where he was in this amphitheater where he was taken, mentally taken, energetically taken. And what he was doing was he was visualizing, and it was happening to the opponent, and he ended up really damaging the opponent according to his story. Really great interview. It was on Shock Jock interview. I can never remember that guy's name. Anyway, he was on there. Riley Martin was on there, and he ended up thinking blown up with a grenade, hit with a baseball bat, run over by a truck. And these are just the ones I remember. And it really messed up the other guy. And his people were saying, put him to death. He did wrong. And the overseers, the oversight, whatever committee that was there, the oversight, the people who were like sanctioning the game said, no, no, no. You set the rules. He played by the rules. He won. You lost. No punishment. This was fair. This was a fair match. And Howard Stern, yeah, that's it. Howard Stern. I can never remember that guy's name. He Riley Martin was on Howard Stern, and they made him kind of into a clown because he's way out there. He tried to sell books, he tried to sell tokens, which was kind of it was a money grab. he was money grabbing because he was a poor dude, right? And he didn't have a whole lot. And I'm looking up. Yeah, I had one of my pictures from the game, some lizard. Yeah, if it's the thing I was thinking about, it was a made up thing. It was a cross between a velociraptor and a couple of different dinosaurs with curled horns. Lamasau. Not a Lamasu, which is the guy who gives the riddles, but a Lamasau. And it was created by magic. Okay, just a little break right here. Created by magic. Some of them were tribal, most of them were not. Most of them were animal intelligence. Some of them were tribal intelligence. There were tribes, but there were like the ones that lived in the woods that weren't. And they were created by an evil wizard, but they turned out to not be mean. They liked people. They were basically like big lizard with horns and spiked tail, rideable golden retrievers, right? That's what they were like. They were like big, rideable golden retrievers with plates of bone down their back, spiked tail, curl horns, perfect punching arms, and grabbing arms like a kangaroo. Could run really good, but they didn't have a mean bent to them. They were like golden retrievers. So they ended up breaking away, forming societies. Some of them they were held as slaves, and some of them in a fallen. Oh, whatever. Okay. They're not standard. I made them up, right? I made up the Lamasau, not the Lamasu. The Lamasu is the guy, the Sphinx looking dude, right? The Lamasau is a critter that I made up that is when I went to Saudi Arabia, I figured it out, right? And then I came back and put him into action. Oh yeah, I drew it. I drew the picture. An AI could do it if I knew how to tell it to do it. And I don't want to pay for these AIs, right? To do it. I drew the picture, but I don't know where the picture ended up. It's gone. I got it in my head. I got the picture in my head. And I know, you know what? It was in Yahoo Photos and it's gone forever. GeoCities. But yeah, Electric Universe is a good circle back to Sonic Water. Water revives, right? Their study on DNA forming from electric influences a game changer. Yes. I need to read up more on that. I'm not 100% on that one. Okay, everybody, it's been less than an hour, but I started late. So I'm going to go ahead, take the break. Me and Amy are going to go get some coffee. And I will be back on the panel soon. Okay. So watch for the new show. I will put one up. Give me a few minutes, right? I missed out on doing a lot of stuff today because it's Mother's Day weekend. I had to go spend time, right? Help her set up her tablet, get her signed into this and that and everything. Yeah. Thanks everybody. If you're here, you're quantum. This has been the first hour, and we're talking density, community, communicating. Ooh, community. There we go. We need that for the panel. Density, communication, ability, and we got everything here. Thank you, everyone, for coming by. Renee says, great show. Thank you so much. And yes, I am pushing buttons. I will talk to y'all in a little bit, give or take 20 minutes or so. Keeping it quantum. Out of here. Bye bye. Pushing buttons.